What's up guys, I'm back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing the top 5 things that you need to turbocharge or supercharge your Toyota Scion FRS, Toyota GT86 or 86, and Subaru BRZ. Wow. Obviously I'm not going to go over like the turbocharger or supercharger itself. I'm going to be talking about supporting mods to help support the power that you're going to be adding to your car when you supercharge or turbocharge your car. And I'm not going to be talking about stuff like aero that helps with downforce. I'm more going to be talking about the stuff that you truly do need to make sure that your car functions properly after you've installed a turbo or supercharger. So the number one thing that you're going to need is going to be to upgrade your clutch. The reason that you need that is because the stock clutch or a stock style clutch can only handle so much power. So if you upgrade to more power, chances are that your stock clutch or whatever clutch you're running now will start to slip. So you're going to need an upgraded clutch. I'm not going to recommend exact kinds of clutches because it's really down to personal preference. There's different amounts of pucks, there's different amounts of torque depending on how much power you're making. So just find whatever one suits your needs and find whatever one you like. Now the number 2 thing that we'll be talking about is going to be brakes. Brakes are very important. You really do need the brakes to be able to support the power you're adding, especially if you track or autocross or even canyon your car. Obviously you're going to want better brake pads. Better brake pads make a significant difference in the driving experience. That was probably my favorite mod I ever did when I first started modifying my car, and it still makes a significant difference in your driving even when you have a car as modified as this one. So brake pads are important. Also brake fluid is important because when you have more power, your brake system is going to be getting hotter, and when it gets hotter, it increases the temperature that your brake fluid is exposed to. And different brake fluids have different boiling points. So you're going to want upgraded brake fluid that is a higher boiling point so that it will not create mushy brakes or bad brake feel or put you in any kind of danger when the boiling point is significantly higher than the OEM fluid. So better brake pads and better brake fluid. If you'd like, you can also get stainless steel lines. You can also get a big brake kit, but the number one things that you're going to need are brake pads and brake fluid. Everything else is kind of optional. Now the third thing is probably just as important as the first 2, and that's going to be an oil cooler. The stock 86, the stock FRS, the stock BRZ, they run hot as is. If you go to the track or autocross your car or even canyon your car, you would really want to put an oil cooler on the car stock. Now if you add power, you're going to be making the car a lot hotter, especially if you go with a turbo. So you're going to want a new oil cooler for the car, and preferably a larger one, and the best option would be one that you can find with a fan on it just to get that extra cooling. The one that I have on my car is the JDL oil cooler. That's with a 19-row set trap oil cooler, so it's pretty big, and the way that they mount it is really nice. It's a good point of airflow. So I would recommend the JDL oil cooler. Like I said, that's what I'm running now, but I've actually moved the oil cooler in a different location that I like more, and I also added a fan to it to make sure I'm getting proper cooling. An oil cooler that comes with a fan already on the oil cooler is the P&L Motorsports oil cooler. I found this one only like a month or 2 ago, and I'm shocked that it's not more common or more popular because this is a larger oil cooler that comes with a fan already on it. So JDL oil cooler or P&L Motorsports oil cooler, you can't go wrong with either of those. Now next is an air oil separator. When you turbocharge or supercharge your FRS or BRZ, there is a chance that you will have oil blow by, which will get into the intake system and dilute the octane of your gas. Now you can block that off by buying a PCV block off, or you can go the extra mile and get an air oil separator that separates the two and puts the oil back into your car so you're not losing oil. I would recommend that option. I have the Veris air oil separator, and as long as you set it up right, it works really well. Or you can get the Crawford air oil separator. I've heard a lot of good things about that one as well. The last thing that I'm going to recommend is bigger injectors and a bigger fuel pump. So when you go past about 300 wheel horsepower, the stock injector and the stock fuel pump are not going to cut it. Also, it's recommended to get a new fuel pump if you plan on running E85. So I have the DW360 or 365 or something fuel pump, and that one is very nice. I mean, I've had no issues with fueling, and I have the DW1150 injectors. The reason that my injectors are so large is because I had this mindset of, if I decide to build a motor and add even more power down the line, I don't want the injectors to be something that I have to upgrade again. So I just pretty much bought the biggest ones that were available, which were those. But a bigger injector and bigger fuel pumps are required if you plan on going above 300 wheel horsepower. A couple other things that are worth mentioning is a flex fuel kit to run E85, or even just an E85 tune and not the flex fuel. The reason for that is because E85 burns cooler than normal gas, so it gives you more power, but also it keeps your engine more reliable because the the engine does not get as hot from burning E85 as it does from burning gasoline. So even if you're making more power, your engine's still more reliable, which is a really awesome option to go with. The last thing is going to be an upgraded clutch fork and an upgraded clutch pivot. The reason for that is because the OEM clutch fork and clutch pivot are notorious for bending under more heavy clutches. So if you want to go with that, you can get the forged clutch fork and clutch pivot from BRZ. That's an option that I have on the car. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything as far as turbocharging or supercharging your FRS or BRZ, or any questions in general, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, like, and I'll see you guys next time.